Dr. Ben Carson and Donald Trump are atop the polls for the Republican presidential nomination.
But many believed at tonight's debate the spotlight shined more brightly on other candidates. The crowded field of Republican contenders squared off for the third time.
And this latest debate delivered multiple made-for-TV moments. KCAL9 political reporter Dave Bryan joins us now with those highlights. Dave?
Plenty of passion in this debate, and you can tell the issues are hitting hard right now. Tonight's heated debate in Boulder, Colorado reflects the urgency for most of the candidates on stage. Time is running out for many of them. 10 of the 14 took part in the main event tonight, and fueled by provocative questions, that was a formula for a night of spirited exchanges.
Is this a comic book version of a presidential campaign?
It's not a comic book, and it's not a very nicely asked question the way you say that.
On a night when the questions were as in your face as the candidates were to each other, much of the anger was vented between the Republican candidates for president and those who were asking the questions at the third debate of the campaign. Nonetheless, as the campaign wears on, the criticism between candidates wasn't exactly polite either. Ohio Governor John Kasich all but called the leading candidates, Donald Trump and Ben Carson, and their proposals unacceptable and unfit for the presidency, triggering this exchange.
This stuff is fantasy, just like getting rid of Medicare and Medicaid.
You said yesterday.
Come on, that's just not, you don't scare senior citizens with that. It's not responsible. Folks, we got to wake up. We cannot elect somebody that doesn't know how to do the job.
He was so nice. He was such a nice guy. And he said, oh, I'm never going to attack. But then his poll numbers tanked. That's why he's on the end. And he got nasty. So you know what? You can have him.
And guess what? In 2011, I got a deal in agreement with the board that he tried to take credit for 4 years later. It's a joke.
But there was also plenty of bad blood between the candidates and the moderators and the rest of the news media, like this when Florida Senator Marco Rubio was asked about a local newspaper calling on him to resign his office because he's missed so many Senate votes during this campaign.
In 2008, Barack Obama missed 60 or 70% of his votes, and the same newspaper endorsed him again. So this is another example of the double standard that exists in this country between the mainstream media and the conservative media.
That's when former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, who used to be a close ally of Rubio's, jumped in.
But Marco, when you signed up for this was a 6-year term, and you should be showing up to work. I mean, literally, the Senate, what is it, like a French work week? You get like 3 days where you have to show up? You can campaign or just resign and let someone else take the job.
Now, Jeb, I don't remember, well, let me tell you, I don't remember you ever complaining about John McCain's vote record. The only reason why you're doing it now is because we're running for the same position, and someone has convinced you that attacking me is going to help you.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz had heard enough and went after the panelists asking the questions.
This is not a cage match. And you look at the questions. Donald Trump, are you a comic book villain? Ben Carson, can you do math? John Kasich, will you insult 2 people over here? Marco Rubio, why don't you resign? Jeb Bush, why have your numbers fallen? How about talking about the substantive issues people care about?
Later, even the audience got into the act when they were offended by a question about Donald Trump directed to Mike Huckabee.
When you look at him, do you see someone with the moral authority to unite the country?
You know, as few questions I've got, the last one I need is to give him some more time.
And there were cheers for New Jersey Governor Chris Christie when he responded to a question for Jeb Bush about whether fantasy football jackpot games should be regulated by the federal government.
Talking about getting government involved in fantasy football? Wait a second. We have $19 trillion in debt. We have people out of work. We have ISIS and Al-Qaeda attacking us. And we're talking about fantasy football? Can we stop?
Well, 2 of the leading candidates in the polls stayed out of the line of fire tonight. Ben Carson defended his tax reform and Medicare reform proposals, and Carly Fiorina defended her less than awe-inspiring record as the leader of Hewlett-Packard during difficult times for the companies. So plenty for everyone tonight at the Republican debate.
Indeed, Dave, and we want to get some analysis on that debate right now.
That's right. Fernando Guerra joins us now from Westchester. He is the director of the Loyola Marymount University Center for the Study of Los Angeles and, of course, a regular contributor to this newscast.
So, Fernando, let's begin with...
Good evening.
Hi. So let's begin with candidates that you believe helped their cause tonight. First, Senator Marco Rubio. Jeb Bush, who we saw had to lay off staff this week because he's trailing badly in the polls and in fundraising. He attacked Rubio, as we saw just a minute ago, for campaigning so much that he's missing a lot of votes in the Senate. Rubio had a spirited response. Let's take a look at it. All right, maybe we won't take a look at it. We already saw it in the report. So let me get your take on this. Is Florida too small for two presidential candidates?
Well, that's the challenge for Jeb Bush. I think Rubio had a great debate. He knows how to pivot very well. He was very responsive. He followed on that general theme about the media picking on Republicans, specifically him. And I think it was just bad timing on Jeb Bush to jump in on him. He seemed to be like part of the problem that all the Republicans were talking about. And then Rubio again pivoted and did an extremely good job of responding to him. So it was a good, very good debate for Rubio. Not so good for Jeb Bush.
Now, Fernando, you believe also that Ted Cruz had a pretty successful night. Now, many of the candidates believe that the moderators were attacking them instead of simply facilitating the debate. And after a while tonight, the candidates kind of turned on the panel. Texas Senator Ted Cruz in particular did so, though. Let's listen into that.
You know, let me say something at the outset. The questions that have been asked so far in this debate illustrate why the American people don't trust the media. This is not a cage match. And you look at the questions. Donald Trump, are you a comic book villain? Ben Carson, can you do math? John Kasich, will you insult two people over here? Marco Rubio, why don't you resign? Jeb Bush, why have your numbers fallen? How about talking about the substantive issues people care about?
So, Fernando, what is your take on Ted Cruz tonight?
Oh, that was a perfect example of, it almost seems like all the candidates got together and had a couple of themes. They were going to go against the media, and Ted Cruz definitely did that, especially in this exchange. They were also going to talk about how they liked each other as a group. They wouldn't talk about individuals liking each other, but as a group that they were great. Number three, that, you know, the previous Democratic debate was not very good compared to the substantive debate that they were having. And so I think Ted Cruz benefited from that because he's really good at going after the media, as you saw on that particular clip.
Well, Fernando, from the good to the bad, let's talk candidates who you believe did poorly tonight. First, Donald Trump, and then Jeb Bush. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Donald did poorly in the sense that he's lost momentum. On the first couple of debates, he was the guy, we were all looking at him. He was very interesting in terms of what he was saying. You might not have agreed with him, but it was very clever. You didn't see that today. It's almost like he's taken back, like he's, you know, he was very flat today, and his campaign seems to be flat for the last couple of weeks, and he didn't change that dynamic, and I believe he had to do that. The second big loser in my mind is Jeb Bush. I mean, again, we keep waiting for him to come out as one of the leading candidates. Every opportunity he's been given, he hasn't been able to do that. I think, again, he hurt himself the way he attacked Rubio, and so I think he's also incredibly flat and having a difficult time at this point in the campaign.
All right, Dr. Fernando Guerra, thank you so much for your insight tonight, and also thank you to Dave Bryan. Now, make sure you stay with KCAL 9 News through the elections, and you can get updates anytime on our website. Just go to kcal9.com.